Yeah, I'm gluten-free, but last night I ate a vegan donut, I'm not gonna lie. And there are some days, guys, where I eat twice as much as Michael. Like, I can eat now. Hi guys.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
So this video is...
What day is it, Danny?
It marks a year of us being vegan.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd do a year vegan update video for you guys and just talk about how it's been going, how it went, and all the things in between.
First and foremost, I can't believe it's been a year.
I know. It's crazy.
Time really does move so quickly.
It moves quickly and slowly at the same time, I feel like. But I think as we get older, it moves quicker.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, it feels, for me, it feels like we've been vegan forever. Like I couldn't even imagine not being vegan or not eating vegan food. It just feels like such a natural thing for us, and it's so weird. I
don't know, it happened so organically for us in the very beginning of this journey that I don't know, for me it was kind of bizarre as to how just smoothly it went. I mean, aside from mean cravings for turkey sandwiches, which still is a year later comes up, right? It's like I would never,
no judgment,
that's really been the biggest challenge, I would say.
Right.
I would also say at the very beginning of this, Demi put a ton of research for a number of years, just like here and there, putting recipes in books and kind of all of that. But I think that really helped make the transition as smooth as it was, because having kind of a stockpile of vegan, whole food, sometimes raw recipes that you could just be like, all right, we're gonna do tacos tonight. All right, we're gonna do a salad today, or so on and so forth. But just being able to access that so quickly, I think helped a lot. I think also just being kind of okay with where you're at, because there's so many different levels of vegan. I mean, you can be vegan and eat McDonald's.
Right, and I think that's one of the things that we wanted to kind of slightly touch on, just on our journey.
Right.
About how
Let me finish this thought, because it sounds like I just said you can eat McDonald's, which is not okay. I mean, it's fine, wherever you're at is fine, but that's junk food veganism, which is a real thing, but I mean, that's not going to give you the health benefits. It's not going to give you the nutrients. I mean, it is better for the planet, of course, but that's like junk food veganism. There's more that I was going to say, but go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Well, I was just bringing it back to our own journey and the different phases that we both went through at different times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And kind of just not really struggle, but just the different phases that we went through. I mean, it's plain and simple. So Michael and I have always eaten together. We've never eaten separately. We've always cooked together our own meals and eaten together. I know there's a lot of couples out there that have different
meal plans.
They eat differently. They like different foods. Michael and I, it worked that we've always, for our whole relationship, have just eaten together the same foods, and we've cooked together, and that's been something that we've done.
Even when we weren't vegan. I mean, we've always been that way.
Yeah, even when we weren't vegan. And so we kind of started out eating together.
Right.
And then as we got into it, I feel like, I don't think you can see.
You can't see her.
Lacey's down here. She always wants to be on Michael's lap or my lap. It's so cute. What was I saying?
Saying how we always eat together.
Yeah. So throughout our vegan journey, I feel like as we got deeper into it, especially me, and I don't want to speak for Michael, I am going to speak for myself, but I feel like I began to eat more intuitively. And that for me has been completely life-changing, because I feel like your body is so smart and it knows exactly what it needs. And it's going to give you messages and signs and kind of tell you what it wants or what it needs. Just like...
That's different from cravings, just to clarify, because cravings are, different. Like, I could get...
I think there's a fine line.
There is, but I could get cravings for chocolate chip cookies, but I mean, that's not intuitive eating. That's not what, Demi's talking about. Demi's talking about, oh, my body is... you describe it. Because, I mean, I can, but I think you said it, so you should define it.
But yeah, so intuitive eating, yes, there is a difference. It's a fine line difference. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate, if I'm actually craving a vegan donut or if my body's like needs something in, I don't know, something in the vegan donut.
Like the fat or...
Yeah, just certain aspects of it. And you can even break it down further and be like, okay, so I am craving a vegan donut or vegan chocolate. What am I lacking in my diet? And you know what, we probably are going to do a whole nother video on that because that has been pretty eye-opening for us as well. Just knowing that we get enough. So anyways, back to intuitive eating. I feel like I started off eating more like, just kind of like whole foods. And then I went to this, and this is going intuitively. So like whatever I felt like I needed, whatever my body felt like I needed, that's what I would intake and that's what I would put into my body. And so we started pretty plant-based, whole foods like Michael was saying. And so not really eating vegan junk food. And then I kind of transitioned into eating a lot of vegan junk food, which is okay. Everybody is at their own point in their journey and it's beautiful so regardless.
What kind of vegan junk food are you talking about?
Well, I feel like more carby meals. So like vegan bread, vegan pasta. Now we found other vegan pasta that's amazing. Yeah, it's really good. But just kind of like more of the junk food side, not like whole plant-based, whole foods like vegetables and fruits. And then I kind of made this other transition after needing, because my body was actually needing more of like that carb lifestyle, more of the heavier, dense foods, not so
grounding.
light. I think, very grounding. I think that in the beginning, I went straight to like plant-based, and I think my body was getting too light because we are what we eat. Energetically, foods carry energy, and so plants, and fruits and vegetables carry a lighter, higher vibrational frequency. And so when you're intaking these foods, your body is kind of like attuning and reacting to that. And so your body becomes lighter. And so I was craving heavier, denser foods because I needed more grounding. I needed to be more grounded into my body. And after that, I kind of switched again. And then I went to like only plant-based. I was pretty much raw for...
I was going to say, you went raw.
I went raw, and that was the point where Michael and I kind of veered off, and we had to do different meal plans.
Right.
Because he was still kind of in that more heavier, dense state, and he'll talk about this. I'm not going to get into his side. And I was really, really craving like whole plant-based food. So like just raw fruits and veggies all the time, and juices and smoothies, and that's all I wanted to eat, and that's all my body was craving. And now I'm kind of like a happy medium. I'm kind of like in between. I am gluten-free now, I am sugar-free now, which has been amazing for me, but I kind of go back and forth. And I do have some cheat days because I do get those cravings, and I don't feel like we should limit our bodies. I really don't. But I don't know, I feel like
it's harder to upkeep if you are like, no, I'm not gonna eat.
Yeah, what kind of life is that if you're just like restricting yourself? Like, yeah, I'm gluten-free, but last night I ate a vegan donut, I'm not gonna lie. And so I had some gluten, I had some sugar, and that's okay. But primarily, what my body really craves and wants is just whole plant-based food.
Right.
And there are days where I want to be more carby too with it and eat potatoes for dinner, and that's okay.
One of our favorite meals is homemade guacamole and homemade French fries.
I make these fries that are out of this world.
And it's just
They're
like
so good. We're oil free too, by the way. So and there's other
well,
ways.
and that was something that I was going to bring up.
You should.
Was that kind of later? I would say that the switch happened about 6 months into being vegan. I don't even know if we had a conversation about it. I feel like we had to have, but we just started kind of naturally stepping away from using oil about 99% of the time, and you know, it's not like we used a lot of oil in our cooking, but definitely when we weren't vegan, I used olive oil all the time. And Demi made an, I don't know if you learned this or if somebody else, you know, taught you this, but how versatile you can use water. So like, you know, you can almost caramelize onions with water. You know, you can steam vegetables.
Anything with water, guys.
Right.
You can substitute.
Right. You know, I mean,
Anything.
it's like sometimes you want that real caramelization on your onions or on your mushrooms, and you use a little bit of oil, and that's like when we use ours. But I mean, there was at least 3 or 4 months there where we weren't using oil at all unless we ate out, and you know, then you don't really have a whole lot of control except for being vegan as to kind of what's in it. But you know, and that again was just kind of that's more like the intuitive, you know, eating that you were talking about, you know.
Yeah, you just naturally go with what your body is telling you, you know, and you really have to be in tune. You really have to listen.
Right.
And you have to quiet down your mind enough to listen and to know what your body needs, because like I said, it's going to tell you. It's our bodies are so smart, guys. They're these beautiful, smart machines that just get us through day to day. And, you know, food is no exception. And so if you just listen, it's really cool, actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know that we kind of talked about this on, I think this was like our second or third video about vegan stuff, but why did you choose to be vegan? Why did we choose to go vegan?
Oh my gosh, well, there's so many different reasons.
Nutshell.
So many, yeah, and I'll definitely do like a summarized version. For me, of course, it was health. You know, it was just this intuitive thing. It really was. It was an intuitively guided decision that I've been leaning towards for years. Like when Michael and I first started seeing each other, you know, we met in nutrition class, and of course there's a lot of information out there. There's even more now about veganism, and I feel like the world is really going towards veganism, but it's more sustainable, and it's cruelty free. I love animals. You know, Michael and I both love animals, clearly. I mean, we have a little fur baby, but it's like, would you want to eat your fur babies at home? No. So like, why would it be any different? You know, I feel like everybody's created equal, you know, and animals included. And so I just don't feel like we need to live off of animals.
Well,
I feel like we're at a point.
Further on that, you know, it's like there were points in history, points in time where that was the resource that would, you know, provide for, you know, a whole tribe. Eating meat, you know, would provide for a whole tribe. But we've progressed so much as humans, as human beings in this world, that there is no reason why we need to eat any meat. You know, you can literally get everything and more, and sometimes better forms of it.
Absolutely,
through
completely better.
Plants and, you know, kind of all of the vegan stuff. And kind of putting that into perspective, and I know I'm kind of stepping in here, but kind of putting that into perspective, if you think about it that way, and then you realize that, you know, I don't want to get too graphic or too dramatic, but you realize that there are these farms where there are thousands upon thousands of animals that are crammed into tiny little spaces, and, you know, they're not fed correctly, they're not taken care of correctly, they're not, you know, given love, kind of so on and so forth. It's like, why would I want to support that when, you know, I can get everything that I need from, you know,
living plants.
Living plants.
I mean, you take in the energy of what you eat, and there's information out there. There's documentaries, of course, you know, What the Health, Cowspiracy, Forks Over Knives. There's tons of documentaries about this stuff that we're talking about. But if why would you want to take in that fear? You know, why would you want to take? We're just done. We're done with it, and it's just more of a sustainable lifestyle. And so for me, it was everything. It was the health. I mean, later this is our health insurance. You know, we spend the extra money on vegan food and a plant-based diet because it is our health insurance. We know that this is just the way that we're gonna end up, you know, going as a society. I'm hoping
I
that this
think
is
it'll
where we're
start to
leaning
happen.
to. Because guys, there are vegan substitutes for everything. You know, if you're just starting off, there's so many things. It's really honestly an easier transition. And just living a plant-based diet, you just feel better. Everything is just, you just feel better. You walk lightly and you just, I mean.
If you're not allergic to cashews, check out the video we posted last week.
I'll link it down below.
And it's literally 2 minutes and 3 seconds long, and it's a vegan queso. So go out, you know, and get the ingredients and just try it. Just have a meal. I mean, it's
so
not
good. Oh
it's
my
not
God.
going to be like, oh yeah, this is nacho cheese. We have another recipe that's amazing for nacho cheese, but beside the point. But it is delicious and different, and it is vegan. But I think you guys would really enjoy that, and just I would say start experimenting with food. You know, start making your own twists. I mean, one of the recommendations that Demi talked about really early on, you know, kind of through conversations that we would have, was to mimic the same foods that you, right, exactly, veganize the same foods that you were consuming prior to being vegan. So as an example, like making a vegan burger, but that's not a great example. Making tacos, making pizza, you know, kind of queso, kind of so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So yeah. So how is your health now in comparison to how it was then?
I feel like it's just manageable. I mean, this is a whole nother video. We go through things in life, of course, you know, and constantly. Michael and I live consciously, so we're constantly the ebb and flow. We're releasing all of our baggage, all of this stuff, and we're healing ourselves every single day. And so, of course, I have things that come up, you know, from homeopathic remedies or from whatever, and those are completely different. But as far as my health, it is so much better now that I'm vegan. I just feel better. I just feel better. I don't even know how else to say it. I mean, you just do. You feel less dense, less heavy. You just walk lighter. I know I just said this, but you do. You just walk lighter. And you start craving like these really delicious, just whole plant-based foods. Yeah. And it's, oh my gosh.
So, I mean, we're talking about, you know, how great this is, and, you know, it really is, truthfully. I mean, we're not just, you know, sunshine on our shoulders talking about this. I mean, it literally is, it's phenomenal. It's but, you know, to give you some realness, what has been one of the things that's been the hardest, either at the beginning, in the middle, now, the whole entire journey? Like, what has been really challenging for you?
Well,
just one.
I will say, and I'll say the most challenging thing for me, and I'm sure if there are vegans that are watching out there, you might have experienced this in the beginning. There is some bloating associated, because as you are introducing more fibrous foods into your body is adjusting. Your body is getting used to it. Your body is also detoxing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
My body has been, and I'm finally kind of leveling out now as it's been a year, but my body was in detox mode for months and months and months, and I was patient with it because, again, I live intuitively and I'm conscious. It's
the worst at the beginning. I will say that much.
I was really bloated. It was just, there was an adjustment period that I had to get used to. But
and they say it's about 6 months to a year and a half, right?
It depends on your body. It really depends on your body. And like I said, I'm kind of evening out now because I'm just so used to it at a year mark. But you know, it takes a little bit to get adjusted. So don't get discouraged. A lot of people think that because they switched vegan, they're getting sick all the time and they're like so bloated, and they think it's because they're vegan. It's not. It's actually because you're introducing more fibrous foods, more fiber into your body, and your body's just not used to it. And
it's
you're
also
clearing
cleansing,
out. Yeah, you're clearing out all the crap that you've been putting into your body all those years. And trust me, guys, I ate a lot of crap when I was a kid. A lot.
Right.
So it just, and when you're patient, it passes, and then you're like, oh, yeah.
For us, it's like I can feel the vibration kind of. I felt it switch, you know, till it's like you just feel kind of crappy at the beginning. You're just like, oh my God, you know. For me, I didn't have a whole lot of cravings, thank God, but I know for a lot of people that make the switch, they do have a lot of cravings. So it's like not only do you have the cravings, but you have the bloating, and just like you're just like, bleh, you know, but it does pass, and then you're just like, oh, I feel bomb.com. I feel great, you know, and that is what happens for me. And truthfully, a year later, I still struggle with this. It was making sure that I'm eating enough. So I've always been like a smaller eater. Now that's not entirely true, but for the most part, on like my day to day, unless I was like going out to eat, or, you know, I don't know, I would have crazy days where I would do a really intense workout or something like that, you know, and I would eat a ton. But I've always been kind of a smaller eater. But going vegan, in order to make sure that I'm getting enough nutrients, in order to make sure that I'm getting just enough food in general, I have to eat more. And that is, you know, something that I continue to struggle with, because, you know, if I had it my way, ideally it would be, you know, just a few small meals a day. And being vegan, I can't really do that. I need to be, you know, full circle every single, you know, for at least 3 meals, and then I need to substitute with, you know, smaller snacks, such as like almonds or a banana or something, a few more times, you know, during the day. So, and I think that not a lot of people realize it, but that can be one of the biggest issues with going veganism, or with going veganism, with being vegan, is that they're just not getting enough food, and they just up it even, you know, a little bit progressively. That difference, you know, that they're going to feel, I believe, is significant. So that's kind of what I would say.
There are some days, guys, where I eat twice as much as Michael. Like, I can eat now, and I've always been a squirrel eater, like literally, like just a little baby squirrel, just eating like a squirrel. I eat now, and I can eat, but you know what? I eat until I'm fully satisfied, and I don't overeat, and you know, just listen to your body. It makes a big difference. So don't be alarmed if you go vegan. You're like, oh my god, I'm eating so much. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all plant-based, and you're getting what you need, so that's good.
Yeah. In order to kind of just wrap this up, if veganism, being vegan, is something that you're considering, there is a lot of resources, a lot of information. You can leave comments down below to us if you want to talk to us directly. We're more than happy to, you know, offer assistance in, you know, any way that we can.
Any insight that we have, we'd be happy to do a Q&A too. If you guys have any questions, I know you guys are a little shy to leave comments, but please don't be. Like, don't be shy.
You know, if it is something that you really want to do, give it the time. You know, give it at least a month, you know, of doing it. Say, all right, for the month of February, I'm going to be vegan. I say February because it's only 28 days. But give yourself a solid chunk of time to let your body adjust, because if you just go vegan for a week, then it's going to be like, well, I
don't feel any better
for a week, but I don't, you know, I mean, it's like, yeah, I probably saved a cow or two and a chicken or two, but, you know, I don't feel any different. So give yourself that time to be able to do it. Be patient with your body.
Listen to your body too. Listen to what it needs. Tune in.
Yeah, and just, you know, right, exactly. And be patient, be patient, be patient. Because, like, we started this, I can't believe it's been a year. Time moves so quickly. I'm so happy to be at this point, and I'm so happy to be honoring this vessel that I'm borrowing this lifetime, and treating this vessel with the respect that it deserves.
And the love.
Right. And, you know, just the assurance that the likelihood of me being, you know, here and able to spread my wisdom, spread my earth, is that much more possible.
Yeah. And our work is that much more potent than at that point.
I'm going to be walking around when I'm 105. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, you guys, thanks so much for watching this video. As always.
Seriously, if you guys have stuck around this long, you're amazing. Thank you for watching and listening to us talk about our journey and our year vegan update. Oh my god, it's so crazy.
And as always, give us a like, give us a follow.
Yeah, subscribe. It really helps progress our channel forward.
It really helps.
It's easy too. It's free.
Yeah.
Just hit the red button down below.
Meow, meow.
And if you want to, if you want to be notified when we do post videos, hit the little bell. It's a notification bell. It will, you know, send you a message whenever we post. You guys can be the first to watch and comment and like and yeah.
Vegan conscious living. That's what our channel's all about. We really hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
Take care, you guys.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
One night to be confused, one night to speed up truth. We had a promise made for.
Just a little baby squirrel. Just eating like a squirrel.